The lion's story will never be heard as long as the hunter is the one to tell it. It's a West African proverb. Black History Month began as Negro History Week. In 1926, historian Dr. Carter G. Woodson conceived an idea to expose and celebrate the history of Black Americans here in the United States. Woodson chose the second week in February for Negro History Week because it coincided with the birth dates of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Armed with a PhD in history from Harvard, Woodson found little mention in his studies of the contributions of Black Americans to the greatness of this country. He believed that making those contributions known and celebrated would uplift generations of Black Americans and would open the door to equality for Black Americans among white Americans. The celebration was expanded to a month in 1976, the nation's bicentennial. President Gerald R. Ford urged Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. Increased awareness of the history of African Americans in this country is only the beginning of a great conversation. There is so much more to discuss than athletes and entertainers, while they too have made a significant contribution to the story. Talk about Phyllis Wheatley, Lewis Latimer, Marjorie Lee Brown, David Blackwell, Etta Faulkner, Rita Dove, Mae Jemison, Daisy Bates, Benjamin Banneker, and Lonnie Johnson, to name a few. The recognition and celebration of Black History Month offers a moment to pause and seek out the names and deeds of those individuals whose stories and contributions were purposefully left out of our American history. It also provides an opportunity to reflect on the successes and challenging endeavors of those men and women with whom we are familiar. Black History Month brings us together as Americans, aware, curious, and inspired to create a conversation that acknowledges survival and thriving in spite of so many attempts to deny full citizenship rights and privileges to one group of people. Those rights and privileges that are said to be the foundation of this country. Most significantly, it is an opportunity to acknowledge that Black history is American history. As February comes to a close, we end our celebration with a contest. The first student from each grade level who can guess correctly the names of all the famous historical figures on the poster in the Commons featuring President and Mrs. Obama will receive a free lunch and a trip to the front of the lunch line. 3 people in the poster represent the armed services and are not actually famous. Please submit your answers in writing to me, Mrs. Williams, in room 226. Please include your name and grade level, and I'd like to have it by Wednesday, March the 3rd, 2015. Thank you.